Welcome to Eye on the Tigers News. I'm Kiara Webster. Thanks for starting your week with us as we follow the news for you. George H.W. Bush played many prominent public roles in a nearly century of life, from when he was a 20-year-old World War II hero to the 41st President of the United States.
Reports after
in between, he turns as a congressman, the director of the CIA, an ambassador to the United Nations in China, and a two-term vice
ceremony
president.
involving both the
Bush,
House and
who died
Senate,
late
will
Friday
be
at
held
his Houston
starting
home
Monday at
at
the U.S.
age
Capitol,
94,
where Bush
would
will
see his
lie in
popularity
state
as
at the
president
Rotunda
soar
until
after he
Wednesday
assembled a
morning.
U.S.-led
On Wednesday,
military
family and friends
coalition
will gather
that
at the National
liberated the oil-rich
Cathedral in
nation of
Washington,
Kuwait
D.C. for a
from its
memorial
invading neighbor
service.
Iraq
The
in
White House said
1991
President
during
Donald
the
Trump
Gulf War.
designated Wednesday
But just
as
a
a
year
national
later,
day.
a deepening economic crisis at home would drive him from office when he lost his bid for re-election. Still, the Republican would reinvent himself yet again by becoming an elder statesman admired by members of both major political parties. Bush will lie in state in Washington before funeral services on Wednesday. The United States and China reached a 90-day ceasefire in a trade dispute that has rattled financial markets and threatened world economic growth. The breakthrough came after a dinner meeting between President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi at the Group of 20 summit in Buenos Aires. Trump agreed to hold off on plans to raise tariffs January 1st on $200 billion in Chinese goods. The Chinese agreed to buy a, quote, not yet agreed upon, but very substantial amount of agricultural, energy, industrial, end quote, and other products from the United States to reduce America's huge trade deficit with China, the White House said. The truce, reached after a dinner of more than 2 hours Saturday, buys time for the two countries to work out their differences in a dispute over Beijing's aggressive drive to supplant United States technological dominance. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres opened the climate summit in Poland by issuing a dramatic appeal to world leaders Monday to take seriously the threat of global warming and act boldly to avert a catastrophic rise in temperatures before the end of the century. Guterres named the climate change as, quote, the most important issue we face, end quote. The UN chief chided countries, particularly those most responsible for greenhouse gas emissions, for failing to do enough to meet the goals of the Paris Climate Accord. The 2015 agreement set a goal of keeping global warming well below 2 degrees Celsius, 3.6 Fahrenheit, ideally 1.5 Celsius, and 2.7 Fahrenheit by the end of the century. Citing a recent scientific report on the dire consequences of letting average global temperatures rise beyond 1.5 degrees, Guterres urged countries to cut their emissions by 45% from 2010 levels by 2030 and aim for net zero emissions by 2050. Dutch motivational speaker Emily Ratelband may feel like a 49-year-old, but according to Dutch law, he is still 69. A Dutch court on Monday rejected Ratelband's request to shave 20 years off his age in a case that drew worldwide attention. Ratelband went to court last month, arguing that he didn't feel 69 and saying his request was consistent with other forms of personal transformation which are gaining acceptance in the Netherlands and around the world, such as the ability to change one's name or gender. But in a written ruling, the court said Dutch law assigns rights and obligations based on age, quote, such as the right to vote and the duty to attend school. If Mr. Ratelband's request was allowed, those age requirements would become meaningless, end quote. Who says the British are reserved? A couple who lost an engagement ring down a Times Square utility grate, returning home thinking it was gone forever, are effusive in their praise for the New York City police officers who found it in the muck 8 feet under. The NYPD had been looking for Drennan and his fiancée, Daniela Anthony, since they retrieved the ring Saturday morning. He proposed to her in Central Park, and she said it slipped off her finger and fell into the Times Square grate late Friday night. They asked for help, but police officers were initially unsuccessful at getting the ring out, and the couple left for England without leaving their names or contact information. Milder air is about to be replaced with more winter-like temperatures. Here's Shannon with the forecast.
Colder temperatures are on the way, and with it, some snow showers are developing this afternoon. Accumulations will be very minor. High temperatures have come and gone as the wind direction changed from the south to the northwest. We're cold overnight with some more snow showers. Tuesday brings some early clouds and then maybe some peaks of sun later in the day. Highs will fall short of the freezing mark, but we're breezy through the day. Clouds persist on Wednesday and Wednesday night with moderate temperatures. Looking out toward the next week, the next chance of snow looks like Thursday, with snow later in the day into Friday. That's the forecast. I'm Shannon. Have a great day.
The college football Final Four is set, and Syracuse is headed to Florida. Here's Tim with sports.
Faced with a tricky choice, the College Football Playoff Selection Committee played it safe and fell back on some simple criteria. One loss is better than two, winning a conference championship is better than not. Go with the team that avoided getting blown out. Oklahoma is in the playoff over Georgia and Ohio State, moving into the fourth and final spot Sunday after the Sooners avenged their only loss by winning the Big 12 championship against Texas. The Sooners 12-1 will face number 1 Alabama 13-0 in the Orange Bowl on December 29th. Number 2 Clemson 13-0 plays number 3 Notre Dame 12-0 in the Cotton Bowl on the same day. The winners meet in the championship game on January 7th in Santa Clara, California. Syracuse football accepted a Camping World Bowl invitation where it will face old Big East rival West Virginia. The game's on December 28th with a kickoff time set for 5:15 p.m. The game will be nationally televised on ESPN. The New York Giants escaped overtime with an upset victory over the Chicago Bears. The Jets and Bills were both losers. The Patriots, Cardinals, Chargers, Chiefs, Seahawks, Rams, and Ravens were all winners. The Packers' loss led to the team firing its longtime head coach, Mike McCarthy, with just 4 games remaining. And finally, congratulations to junior Dean Shambo, who took first place over the weekend in the prestigious Webster Wrestling Tournament. That's a quick look at sports. I'm Tim. Have a good day.
Thanks for being with us. I'm Kiara Webster. Have a great day.